Hi, Devansh here. This is about skills. Skills for an AI agent. Well, skills are nothing but a set of instructions that we give to an AI agent to help it understand what we want to achieve. Like what's the objective we want to achieve, what's the approach we want to take, what what are the libraries it has to use, if there are any preferred libraries, what are the constraints, right, in the whole objective that you want to achieve, and what are the conditions the AI agent has to follow, what's the output format we are looking for, what's the location of the tables or the files. I can actually write it down. What's objective, to mind the spelling, approach it has to follow, and conditions, constraints, and file location or table name, and output format. Okay, these are the kind of or maybe libraries, preferred libraries, and maybe what are the uh, preferred libraries, and maybe best practice, right? Suggestions. These all we can give, but the list has to be like there's a sweet stop. We cannot keep on increasing the list because uh, as per AI agent research done by Claude, they found that with the increase in the length of the instructions, the accuracy goes down. All right. Now, how do we create this skill? Let us say, so skills, we usually create these skills and we share as a markdown file, the MD file. So open up a notepad, and you can actually save it as a markdown file. So you save it as a markdown file. I name it as testing skill TS. I save it on my desktop and I save it and I close it off. So here you see it just looks different. It's a markdown file. So if you open it, it depends upon what software you're using. I'm using VS Code, and so it opened in the VS Code, right? Now, I can define multiple things in this, the important things. So first of all, I'll name it as this is, okay, so I am in, I'm at the category one, at the top category, okay? I call it skill for, skill for testing, or skill for data engineering testing, okay? Now, under this, I can actually give an overview. Okay. All right. Skill for testing data engineering. I can give it now. That overview is under this. So what this skill will do, this skill enables AI agent to implement the testing, data testing. Okay, that's the overview. And then I can define the objective. So if you see here, I have marked one hash, single hash, which means this is the top, okay? Under that, double overview. So overview. Under that third, let's say objective, objective. Objective. What's my objective or objectives? Let's say I have few major objectives. Validate the data accuracy. Okay. Data accuracy and data completeness, data completeness, and yeah, data accuracy and data completeness. What else is a major objective? detect schema drift, and okay, schema drift, detect data anomaly. Okay, anomalies, and what else? I I want to generate a crisp output. Okay, in an Excel format for the test cases. For the test cases. Okay. Now, what are the tests it has to run? Let's say test cases. Okay, two. Now in this, I'll define row count match. Okay, and say what else? Distinct count, distinct count match. I can go for full row comparison. Okay, and I can go for null count validation, and then blank cell count. Okay, mark it. And let's check duplicate records. And I can go for data format. And what else? I can go for timestamp consistency. Let's not check it in this case. I mean, you can keep on adding things. Okay, and statistical check for each column, including some min, max, and some min, max. There's one more thing that we check, right? Standard deviation. And I can check schema match. Have we done that? No, schema match. Okay. Schema match by order or just let it be space. And we can check schema if there's a schema drift. Schema drift, and we can go for data type validation, but let it be. Now, how do I want the output to be? I want output to be, let's say, I give it like this. I want the output, the test result or the test comparison result out PUT output as Excel.xls format. Okay. I can also mention more specific. The output should contain results for each test done. All right. Now you see we have these test cases. What what if I separate these test cases under various category? Let us say so I create a subcategory. So I have three hashes over here. Okay, and I call it data reconciliation. And under data reconciliation, I'm doing row count match and distinct count match. Okay. And maybe full row comparison. And then I have another subcategory, and this is, let's say, this is data quality testing. All right. Data quality testing. And let's create one more. Let's say schema validation. Okay. This is schema validation. Now I can create one more. What should we call it? Let's say business rule validation. Okay. Business rule validation. And business rule says if schema drift, if schema drifts, then do not proceed. Okay. Now let's say I I want to run. See, different businesses will have different validation of different test scenarios. We can keep on adding under various subcategories. In some cases, maybe I don't want to run all four of them. Okay, let's say I number it one, two, three, and four, for sake of ease of understanding. Let us say I want to run only one, two, and three, not the four. So I can come to the objective and I can say, let's say, uh, run only the defined subcategories. Run only the below um, test scenarios or um, test cases. It was already giving me a suggestion. Test cases in number one, two, and three only, not four. All right. So this is very dynamic. I can always keep on defining, adding, deleting, editing what I want to do and generate a crisp output in an Excel format for the test cases results. Okay. Now in here, um, I can also define input source. Okay. Or you can define the table. Input source is source.xls and target.xls input source. Okay, or you can define table names. So you can keep on defining the very important parameters. All right. Now, let us say I save it. Now I have access, but for some reason I'm not able to configure my API. Claude works the best. Copilot I've used, and it gave me a very disappointing result. Just for the sake of this video, I'm going to use Gemini, and I found it giving much better result compared to Copilot. So let us say one second. How do I go back? I'll copy paste my prompt. Okay, so that I save myself from writing it again. So I give it, go to desktop. Where's Okay, so this is a skill that we created. I add that skill, and let me show you. So take the empty file, .md file, and do as per the instructions in it. Compare source and target, source and target with the source and target. So what are the two data sets that we are going to compare? So let's say I have created a source. Let's say we did some exercise, okay? And I created a source. It's a dummy data. Customer ID, I generated a random number. SSN, 9-digit random number. Salary, 5-digit random number. Age, so I've generated all these random numbers. Okay. Below that is a constant. And then let me delete this, save. And I created a target. Let's say you did some data engineering work and that was your source and this is your target. It's exactly the same target which I had copy pasted. I just created some error. Okay. I just created some error. Now, if you look at this data, customer ID, go to target and copy paste here, you see it is all the same data in the second row, 146, 146, 193, 193. I created one error here, number of 5. Okay. In first row will not match because it is a dynamic random number. So it will keep on generating every time I do something. So this is an error. This all the error purposely I have created. Okay. To help you understand the schema drift, here I had age, all other schemas, all other columns are matching. For the schema drift, instead of age, now it will show it as DOV, it will not match. Okay, so I save both. I go to Gemini, I give it my mm, testing skill. I give it my source and target. Open. Okay, source dot xls and target dot xls. Compare source and target and get me the result as mentioned in the MD file. Result in Excel format, please. Okay. The clearer the instructions, better the performance of the AI agent. Now I give it a go. It might take some time. All right. So now it has run. You can get the code over here. It is written a Python code. I can actually define that what code it has to follow. Let's say you can define tools. Um, Databricks for data processing. Okay. And PySpark, you can actually define so that it will follow what exactly you say. Now, I don't need this. I had the code and it has given me some summary, but let's directly download the Excel file. Okay. Now, how do I download? Let's say I download this and I open it. Okay. Now you see it has given me 3 different sheets. Why 3 different sheets? Because in our empty file, output, sorry, in our MD file, we said run only, the spelling is wrong, run only the below test cases in number 1, 2, and 3 only, not 4. I should have put a comma. You just have to be careful. Okay. So it did only 1, 2, and 3, not the fourth one. So it followed the instructions. It has given me a summary. There are a few things which are kind of match. So full row, total row count is matching. Distinct ID count is matching. Distinct name count is matching. Full row count is not matching. Okay. Data quality. Let's check what it has done. Let me collapse the row a little. All right. So it says pass for all. Okay. We have to see there nulls. There were no nulls. Okay. neither in the source nor in the target. The blanks, no blanks. It did not find any blank. Duplicate, it did not find any duplicate. It checked the mean. Surprisingly, it found 51. It found the age mean as 34. And then if you see at schema validation, it should give me a fail somewhere because okay, ID is integer, bracket integer decimal. So it should give me a fail. Data drift detected? No. Age. Now if you see, age I had changed to DOB. So it should have got that age is date of is not a match. It should not because just before this recording I had done it and I actually got that as failed. You see, this is a file we downloaded, right? Reconciliation is failed. Named discrepancy. Here it is giving, but it's not right. How do I go to my previous chats? Any idea? Just go back. One more back. Okay, maybe one more back. Got it. All right. So when I did it for similar kind of thing, it actually gave me for the same source and target. It gave me a fail because I had used the same source and data file, source and target file, and it said, you see, it says schema drift detection baseline schema current schema. Okay, when it matches baseline current, it failed. Why it failed? Because missing age and in the new it is DOB. Okay, and then the column and order mismatch because it is not following the same order because of the one mismatches in between. Okay, now uh, the best tool that you should use or the best AI agent uh, that you should use is the Claude. Okay, it is just amazingly better compared to many other AIs that I have used. Taking it forward, this is just one of the use case that we have just discussed. We can use it to create a we can create skills for a research agent. Okay, research agent, and you can define um, focus on sources like only for US, focus on sources only from the science journal. Okay, and follow APA format for citation and XYZ things that you can define. Or let's say if you're a business analyst, you can create a skill and you can tell that I want you to analyze under these conditions. Let's say you are a business analyst in supply chain. Okay, in supply chain, people don't want to see what's the total number of or what's the percentage of missing items. A manager would like to see what order number is missing because there's $1 million container which is missing. He doesn't want to know the overall percentage. He wants that exact order. So you can define these things into the skill that how he has to proceed, which will come under the business rules. All right. Well, another thing to note, you can actually go to skill.md. You'll get a couple of skills ready-made. You can actually go to Claude skills, and you'll get some great skills created by Claude. And you can actually go to GitHub skills repo. You'll get some great skills over here. You download it, you edit it for your own use. I find it better if when I create it myself, but it's good that you go through multiple skills to be more skillful in creating the skills. Thank you, everyone.